Overseas now, and the boldest sign yet that President Bashar al-Assad's regime in Syria is on the brink of collapse. Today, the highest government defections yet. The prime minister escaped to Jordan with at least 2 other cabinet members. But as Assad loses his grip on power, some gaining it may create new threats to the U.S. and our allies. ABC's Alex Marquardt went inside Syria and brings us this firsthand account.
Traveling across Syria, we met many young, fresh-faced men who have joined the rebellion. Army defectors, men who say they refuse to fire on their own people. In one town, we also met the 3 Fondo brothers. They're fighting together, an accountant, a chicken farmer, and a baker. Each has his own family, each willing to give up his life to take down Assad. How can we watch all of this happen and not fight for our dignity and freedom? The eldest Nofal told us. They're shelling us every day, so we have to fight this oppressor, and we don't care if we die. But there's a much more ominous presence now in Syria, too, that has many in Washington worried. Foreign fighters, mostly religious fundamentalists, streaming in and taking up the fight. They want Assad to go and Syria to become an Islamic state. We headed out to find some of them. Instead, led by that car right there, they found us. They were heavily armed, so we hid our camera. Well, that was interesting. We were stopped by a van full of what were clearly fundamentalist fighters. They stopped our car. They all had AK-47s. They wanted to see our passports and IDs. Clearly very unhappy to see us. What was quite interesting is they were speaking Arabic with a non-Syrian accent as well as other languages, so we got out of there really fast. Along with the arrival of foreign fighters is something even more worrying. The growing number of suicide bombings is evidence that Al-Qaeda is here as well. Their infamous black flags in a growing number of videos coming out of Syria. Many in this rebellion want the help of the foreign fighters, but reject the extreme terror tactics of groups like Al-Qaeda. Traveling the country, it becomes clear that Syria is becoming more chaotic, making the question of who would take over after Assad more complicated, and the result possibly more dangerous.
Boy, Alex, that is harrowing stuff, and it's clear the rebels controlling a lot of territory right now. I know you've been speaking with a lot of officials in the region. What is their biggest national security worry right now?
It's really the chemical weapons stockpile. Syria has one of the biggest stockpiles of chemical weapons in the world, and America and Israel, which is obviously Syria's immediate neighbor, are afraid that in this chaotic situation, Assad could lose control of these weapons. Now, we spoke to Israeli officials today who told us they have prepared plans to intervene in Syria to secure those weapons so that they don't fall into the hands of these groups like Hezbollah and Al-Qaeda.
Okay. Wow, Alex, thanks very much. Good work.